Good evening, Grand Rapids, and welcome to NewsFlash. I'm your guest anchor, Pete.
I'm your other guest anchor, Brandon. Sean's out this week. He went to Record Store Day on Saturday, and as of this afternoon, he's only made it to the letter F.
There's a lot of them.
Yep, 26 to be exact.
He'll be done by probably, 4th of July.
So since he can't do his job, we've got the news you may have missed. You're welcome, Grand Rapids. This is
NewsFlash.
Our top story tonight. A Battle Creek woman was left trapped in her home after a minivan crashed through the first floor wall of her house this past week. Several people called 911 prior to the crash, reporting a driver who appeared to be watching demolition derby videos on his phone and getting way too excited. Authorities say that while the van's wheels were normal size, the man did have a Gravedigger t-shirt on.
An American YouTuber was arrested by Indian police after he went to North Sentinel Island and left a can of Diet Coke for the tribe. For the first time ever, the Sentinelese tribe have made contact with the outside world, responding with a note on the beach that just said, "Please leave regular next time."
Gas services have been restored to the Saugatuck area after a major leak left over 5,200 people without natural gas this past Wednesday. Authorities are still trying to determine the reason for the leak, but one thing's for certain. This was one really big butt. Top suspects include Kim Kardashian, Brendan Fraser's character from The Whale, and your uncle, Steve. To quote the chief of police, "We're not sure who dealt it, but we definitely smelt it."
A busy week in sports. Hastings hosted the Barry Roubeau cycling race this weekend. Winners of the race were anyone who was able to ride their bike out of Hastings. The Detroit Tigers assistant manager has resigned after sending unsolicited photos of his genitals to 3 women. For the stat nerds, that's 2 balls and 3 strikes. That's right. That's right. Western Michigan University's hockey team won an NCAA title Saturday night. Fans and students were all in agreement that the championship almost makes up for living in Kalamazoo. Hasbro has released a LeBron James Ken doll. Accessories sold separately include a salt and pepper beard, detachable hairline, and benched Bronny Jr. He's not that good. Rory McIlroy won the Masters tournament this past Sunday, making him the 6th person ever to win all 4 majors in the sport.
Oh, that dirty Irishman.
Pete, you're Irish.
Yeah, but I bet on Scotty to win.
Oh, all right.
Where my gamblers at?
Yeah.
Okay.
In other golf news, Jose Luis Ballester made headlines for peeing in the creek during his round at Augusta. According to Jose, he misheard the phrase tea time. He's not welcome back at Augusta National, but he just cemented himself as a national legend at Arizona State by turning the Masters course into his master bathroom. And finally, it has been announced by the Olympic Committee that hide and go seek will be added to the Olympics in time for the 2028 LA Games. The addition narrowly beat out other nominations such as Red Rover, Duck Duck Goose, and the Pass Out Game.
Any word on Ghost in the Graveyard?
No, maybe freeze tag.
I hope. Okay, Florida lawmakers have warned that anyone trying to manipulate the weather faces a felony. Hell yeah. Florida Republicans are so tough on crime, they're cracking down on crimes that don't exist. In Florida, it's also a felony to steal Christmas, shrink the kids, throw off the Emperor's Groove, or attack a castle with a giant living gingerbread man.
Avoid those. Frederick Meyer Gardens released their 2025 concert lineup, and it is without a doubt the most "yup, I've heard one of their songs" lineups of all time. On August 3rd, you can see Train and Edwin McCain, which will be the best night of your life if you graduated in 2003. I love concerts at Frederick Meyer Gardens because it solves the age-old problem of, I want to see the guys who sang Everybody Wang Chung tonight, but I also want it to cost $90.
The Michigan Supreme Court made a historic change last Thursday, striking down mandatory life sentences for 19 to 20-year-olds convicted of murder. Now hundreds of killers will have the chance to appeal their case in local courts using the whoopsie-daisy I killed your baby clause. To the younger generation, I say, kill away. Have fun out there. To the older generation, I'd like to offer an apology. You're right, they're literally getting away with murder.
The head of ICE stated that he wants the organization's operations to, quote, be treated like a business and that they should aim for Amazon-style deportations. Not sure how they could be more like Amazon when they're already delivering people to the wrong locations with unnecessary damages. They're Nazis, also.
The USDA issued a public health alert warning that some popular soup products are contaminated with wood. They're asking consumers to return those cans of soup, and to that I say, nice try, USDA. Because with all these new tariffs, soup with wood inside is easily worth $15 a can.
Buy enough soup, you could build a deck, man. That sounds awesome. To raise awareness on declining male fertility rates, a startup company is putting on the world's first sperm race. 2 sperm samples will compete to be the first to cross the aptly named finish line. The event may take a while to set up as they have to create 400 million of those tiny racing bibs, as well as give unique names to all of the sperms. The hosts of the event are even allowing people to bet on which sample they think will win the race. And folks, if you find yourself betting on cum, you have a gambling addiction. And you should probably call the number on the screen.
A DoorDash driver is accused of stealing a tip jar from a Cottage Inn pizza shop in Lake Orion. According to witnesses, the driver pointed behind the employees and said, "Oh no, there's a pizza monster!" and snatched the jar while they cowered in fear. Employees only discovered the deception when they remembered pizza monsters aren't real. It's pizza gremlins you gotta watch out for.
Pizza gremlins, Pete?
I've said too much already. Com's currently under litigation for Pizza Gremlins Incorporated. Anything we say can be used against us. And they live in the walls.
All right, in Com News tonight, improv from Handlebar Hiatus, Daughter Dads, and a sketch by Lucky Lee and Friends.
We also... Okay, yeah.
Yeah, clap.
Sorry,
Go ahead and give it up.
Clap it up for it. Whoops. We also have stand-up from Will Salloway, Pat Sievert, Kyle Johnson, John Donovan, Holly Finn, David Tiesma, Anna Flora, and Jake Thompson and Matt Turber.
Woo!
Yeah.
Awesome. Great show for you guys tonight. We'd like to thank tonight's NewsFlash contributors. Thanks, Pete. Good job. If you'd like to write some jokes and see your name up here, you can submit them to comedyoutletmondays@gmail.com with the subject NewsFlash Tip.